So I figured it's time for me to make a video. It's been a couple days, so you know what that means. So for the last couple days, I've been contemplating on whether I should make this video or not. And after watching Shane Dawson's video, I felt like it was time for me to do so. Yes, this is about the disaster that is known around YouTube as Tanacon. I didn't want to comment because at first, I believe that her intentions were pure. Her, like myself, come from a background where we didn't get raised with much money. And by doing something like this, I think was a great gesture. To let her fans know, like, I remember what it was like to not be able to go to these cons, to not have money, and how it felt because I was unable to do so. Not all of us have the ability to spend mass amounts of money to go to cons, even no matter if we want to or not. So here's the issue that occurred. If you haven't heard, please go ahead and go over to Shane Dawson's channel and watch his video. That will give you a gist of everything that went on, so this makes a little bit more sense. And by the way, Shane, if you ever see this, sorry, boo. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So, what are my thoughts about the whole Tanacon? Like I said, I think that it was started out to be a good intention. But here's the issue. And here's the issue that I have with it. Everybody wants to put blame on good times, which, by the way, they do deserve some of the blame, but they don't deserve all the blame. And here's why I say this. I'm not saying Tana is a horrible human being, because I believe, honestly, we all have our demons and we all face them in our own ways. But this was unacceptable for more than one reason. You have people going out in stretchers. You have people with third-degree sunburns. You have people without water, without food for your con. And the worst part about it is that this con, people paid to get in and couldn't get in because the capacity for this place wasn't able to hold that many people. I've been to events where I've been sunburned because, I'm waiting for someone that I look up to, and then either have them walk away and be too fucked up to even care, or, something just doesn't go right. And the next thing you know, you've been standing in line for hours for nothing. And as someone who's experienced that before, that burn hurts so bad. Where standing in front of an air conditioner is just a slight relief. Where aloe is like, it helps, but it doesn't take it away. That pain is horrible feeling. Like, you can't hardly sleep because of it. And after a few days, yeah, your skin starts to repair and heal. But that's beside the point. When you're making an event, especially a con, these things have years in advance money, and a lot of people work hard for it. And to do something on a whim just to spite VidCon for, the issues that you had with them was not only irresponsible, but it was irresponsible not to do your homework. To make sure that what you've put your name to is actually going the way that it's supposed to go. Now, many of you might argue, well, she put it into a company's hands. I hate to tell you, but if I was going to start my own CelesteCon, do you think for 1 minute I wouldn't have my hand dipped in every bit and aspect of it? Especially if I got fucked over not once, but twice from VidCon, a big company? Do you think that I would have that innocent stupidity to trust another company without me saying, okay, I want to see the locations, or they tell me the location and I go do my own research? You can't just do this stuff on a whim and hope that, it turns out okay. It just doesn't happen like that. And what gets me about it is she just seemed aloof about it all. How can you be that naive when your name is attached to it? That's what I don't get. That's what I don't understand. How can you sit there and be like, well, I got scammed and it's not my fault and I didn't know. Well, first off, if you did not have the mental capacity to know how to run a con, or couldn't take advice from people who were telling you this company is not good, you do not need to work with them, that was your first warning. But yet you didn't heed the warnings. All you thought about was, fuck VidCon, let me make some money, let me help some kids, and that's all you thought. But initially, let's be blunt about it. Tana, if you're watching this, it was about saying fuck you, VidCon. Like, I'm pretty sure that you had moments where you sat there and you thought, well, I want to do this for my fans and stuff, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that. But the way that you did it, and the way that it seems like the Shane Dawson video is going, you fucked over a lot of people. And it's heartbreaking because people traveled, spent money that they didn't have just to get burnt. When if they wanted to do that, they could walk outside their own house and get burnt. And here's the issue that makes this even worse. One, any YouTuber from this point on who isn't either Shane Dawson or the Holy Grail of YouTube is not going to be able to do something like this now because you fucked it up. And that's just how it is. And another thing that irritates me is this dude from Good Times sitting here saying, oh, I'll only take 3 questions. First off, dude, you're supposed to be representing this con along with Tana. Second off, you've made me mad because people look at young individuals who own a company and they think, oh, they don't know nothing, they don't have life experience. And yet here you are proving to them pretty much don't trust somebody who's a young entrepreneur, which is BS. And it makes me upset. So I just don't understand how someone could put their name to something and not know the facts, not worry, not wanting to know, okay, what security company are we using? Are we working with the police force to ensure? Are we making sure we're checking bags? Do you realize a shooting could have occurred? Like, here's the deal. I am 28. So I am literally around everyone's age who is big on YouTube, but I'm small and I'm fine with that and I will grow. But I don't care if you're 19 or if you're 20 or if you're 50. It is common sense to know that if you put your name into anything, that you have to make sure that what you're doing, you meet all the requirements. If you could not have planned this so rapidly, this might have turned out better. It might have actually been something, you know, eventually I would have liked to come to. And I live in Ohio. But it's things like this that makes me not want to travel to California because me being a small YouTuber, if something like this was going to happen to, you know, fans, what would happen to small creators like myself? You know, I'm not taking up for VidCon because 1, I've never been, and 2, I've heard a lot of shady stuff about them. But at least they were out there trying to say, hey, if you guys need help or anything that we can do. But Tana, you waited. You had... I'm so mad that I'm losing my voice. And the way that I'm holding my camera, I can't take a drink of anything. All I'm saying is, don't sit here and play the pity card because it's BS. And if no one else is going to tell you that, I'm going to tell you that. I'm not going to fall for this, oh, woe is me bullshit. No, you put your name to it, deal with it, be a woman, grow up. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this from, let's say, an older sister perspective. Like, what gets me is you had people there for you who seen your vision, who wanted to help you. And yet you were too blind by your own accord and your own agenda to even hear them out. So you know what? I'm going to end this video on this note. And this is what I say. For anybody out there that is potentially going to try to do their own con, no matter if it's like a YouTube video con, anime con, whatever con that you may decide that you want to do. 1, make sure you're working with a good company. 2, even when you're working with a company, ask to look at the facts. Ask to look at all the information, especially when your name's attached to it. Anyway, I'm infuriated and annoyed and just, like, how can you do this without thinking? Like, what stupidity is that? And you know what? Like, most people are like, oh, well, this is a small YouTuber trying to get views. No, this is a person from an outside perspective who, 1, didn't hear about Tanacon. 2, I probably wouldn't have went to it anyway, even if I would have heard about it because, you know, I got a life and stuff that I do. And 3, I care about my fellow man. And I'm smart enough not to put my fellow man in danger. So next time you decide to do something, make sure you got all the facts. Make sure you got all the information. And for the love of God, make sure you know what the fuck you're doing. All right, guys. This is my video. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, and comment. Give me your thoughts on the whole Tanacon. Do you agree with me? Do you think that if you put your name to something, that you should at least make sure what you do is harming other people? Let me know down below. Till later. Bye-bye.